Alright, organizations of information, yeah, topic 3, bibliographic control. And for this chapter, I will explain first about the foundations of bibliographic control, which mean I will explore the definitions and then purpose of bibliographic control, about the terminology and activities involved in bibliographic control. And after that, you need to study and explore about history and development of bibliographic control. And for this, you need to refer to the books by Daniel and Jodrey and Alan G. Taylor, as being posted on the YouFuture and shared to you earlier. Title of the books, The Organizations of Informations. I believe each of you know the, oh, no, sorry, know the, maybe you have downloaded these books, and you may refer to this book later. Okay, so let's proceed to our first slide. All right. How many of you familiar with this term, bibliographic control? Anyone? I believe maybe some of you, this is your first time know about this term, bibliographic control. Anyone? Ada tak? Apa yang you faham tentang bibliographic control? Don't refer to the slides. Pernah dengar tak this term? Have you ever heard or know about bibliographic control? Anyone?
No, sir.
What about others?
No, sir.
Totally tak tahu Okay, ada tak sesiapa yang depan internet? Kalau ada, boleh search sekejap. What is the meaning of bibliographic control? Ada tak? Ada dapat? Ada? Tak ada? Okay. Tak ada bibliographic control or acronym to represent the bibliographic control, BC lah, stand for bibliographic control. Okay, never mind. Basically, bibliographic control refer to the operation by which recorded information is organized or arranged according to established standards and thereby made readily identifiable and retrievable. So based on this statement, first let's look at the operations. Operation by which recorded information is organized or arranged. So when we talk about operation in bibliographic control, it's involved or it consists various activities. So operasi di sini ataupun operation ini dia melibatkan activity and activities and process. Proses. So maknanya ada series of activities or process in which information, recorded informations in any form, whether printed or online or electronics, how they organize and arrange this information so that it can be accessed by the user. So to define bibliographic control, you boleh kaitkan dengan apa yang saya jelaskan tadi, bermaksud dia merupakan aktiviti ataupun proses yang menguruskan ataupun kita kata menyelenggara maklumat dalam pelbagai medium so that it can be access later bagi tujuan rujukan dan sebagainya. So the most common tool used in bibliographic control normally referred as file or list, file or list. And in managing or information management or information organization, we know this, it is known as bibliographic file. Bibliographic file. Apa itu bibliographic file? Dia mengandungi descriptions of that particular information, bibliographic information. For example, such as names ataupun author names, and then publishers names, and then year of publication, and etc. The 8 area that normally we use in bibliographic. Or if automated, they are known, they call it as bibliographic databases. Individual units of such file or databases are called bibliographic record. Jadi suatu file itu sekiranya dia wujud sebagai satu entiti, kita panggil dia sebagai bibliographic record. Maknanya satu file itu adalah merupakan satu records, and record yang banyak tadi dia compile menjadi satu bibliographic database sekiranya online, and for manual they call this as bibliographic file. Alright. Okay, let's next move to the next slide. Okay, just now I did mention 3 activities, or 3 processes involved in bibliographic control dalam definition tadi. So in this slide, this slide display the 3 activities that normally occurs in bibliographic control. Apa dia? The first one, descriptive and subject cataloging. Number 2, classifications. And number 3, indexing and abstracting. Okay. So before we explain further, let's I brief you about what is what are these activities. So the first one, descriptive and subject cataloging. So if you still remember, in our previous meeting or previous class, I did mention about descriptive and subject cataloging, which mean for any information sources, especially monograph, buku contohnya, dan penerbitan-penerbitan yang lain, information professional normally assign descriptive information and subject cataloging for books. So this activity juga dipanggil sebagai cataloging process. Cataloging process. So apa agaknya aktiviti yang berlaku dalam cataloging itu? Pertamanya, we assign descriptive information. Descriptive information also known as surrogates. Surrogates information, which mean representations of information. Representations of information. And for this, normally saya suka menggunakan analogi you punya kad pengenalan tu, my card, ataupun you punya kad pelajar as a surrogate information that represent you as a student, and the information contents ataupun the contents of information of your my card, for example, it's describe about you. So descriptive information ada di dalam you punya my card. My card itu adalah surrogate, mewakili atau represent you as an individu. Jadi descriptive information itu menjelaskan tentang diri you, maklumat yang terkandung di dalam my card, dia menjelaskan tentang diri you. Okay, and at the same time, in cataloging process, you did assign the subject, the subject matters of the monograph or of the books. Apa subjek bagi buku tersebut? Alright. So in descriptive and subject cataloging, normally we relies on kita panggil vocabulary control. We relies on manual, standards, and guides in order to identify the descriptive informations and subject matter of that particular books or information sources. And then number two, aktivitinya adalah classifications. In classifications, ini juga saya dah jelaskan dalam kelas yang lepas, which mean you need to assign some numbers, numbers or coding or class, category of document, of information. Why we need these classifications? First, to arrange or to organize the collections, and number two, for easy access, which mean by using classification scheme or classification number, it will assist you as an information professional to provide retrieval tools for your end user. All right. If you talk about these situations in records or archive and record center, of course, you akan gunakan juga classification scheme for this. Okay, kelas, dah belajar belum classification sistem pengkelasan, classification system for records and archive? Ada tak belajar? Ingat lagi tak? Ada tak ya you dah belajar ataupun ada pensyarah you yang menyatakan apanya wujudnya classification scheme or classification system in records and archive? Anyone? Siapa boleh bantu ingatkan saya dan kawan-kawan? Nur Asna. Ada ke? Ya. Okey ke tu Asna?
Tak, saya batuk sikit.
Okey, ada tak belajar? Dah belajar belum yang ni? Ada tak disebut di dalam kelas bagi records and archive adanya tentang classification scheme? Ada yang lain? Nur Awatif?
Yes, sir. Boleh ulang balik tak apa soalan saya?
Okey, ada tak di dalam kelas sebelum ini, kelas subjek lain yang pensyarah you menyatakan khusus for records and archive, dia ada classifications scheme or classification number that normally being used for retrieval process.
Before this, yang masa sem 1 tu adalah classification tu yang macam buku tu kan, yang susun ikut.
So dalam filing ada tak? Records and filing.
Ada juga rasanya.
Ada juga rasanya, macam mana? Dalam kelas subjek apa tu, ingat tak?
Kalau tak silap IMC 406.
406 tu subjek apa 406?
Saya tak ingat apa subjek apa. Rasanya kalau tak silap IMC 406.
Okay, so dalam subjek 406, subjek apa tak ingat. So di situ dijelaskan adanya sistem pengelasan belajar tak detail macam mana pengelasan dia?
Tak ingat rasa sebab tu buat assignment.
Okay.
Ada.
Tak ingat?
Tak
ingat. Okay. Okay, yang lain-lain ada nak bantu? Ingat tak? Tak ada yang lain? Okay, bagi saya sekejap few second sekejap. Saya punya screen setting dia berubah sekejap. kita break sekejap sekejap. Apa reset sekejap. Okay. So ada betul macam apa yang Nur Awatif maklumkan tadi memang ada classification scheme for records, especially records and archive. Saya tak akan bincang itu lebih lanjut dalam kelas ini sebab nanti you akan belajar lebih detail dalam filing especially. Okay, and finally the third activity is indexing and abstracting. Indexing and abstracting. Okay, indexing and abstracting juga sebagai tools tools for or instrument for information retrieval. And these tools actually is part of surrogate information as well. Because indexing and abstracting normally produce they produce totally different process or different activities normally after the books being published. It's not part of the books, but normally publisher or the author will include index and abstract as part of their publications. Why? Again, it is surrogate information, which means by using this surrogate information, a user can trace and retrieve or identify the information ataupun the books just now. Alright, now we move to next slide. Okay, so let's go to the definition academically. As the first slide just now or the earlier slides define the terms of bibliographic control according to or based on this subject approach. But then, if you refer to Harrod's Librarian Glossary, bibliographic control can be defined as the creations, developments, organization, management, and exploitations of records and information, being prepared to describe items, that normally held or stored in the libraries or on databases. And number two, it facilitates user access. So in this definition, if you refer to what has been discussed just now, dia juga consists of the component, the three component. Number one, dia melibatkan activities. Apa aktivitinya? That create, develops, organize, manage, and exploitation, and maknanya utilization of records, of records and information. Kenapa? Because we need to describe this information that to let a user or to let the people know about types of information or types of information sources being kept by a library or any information agency. Jadi kita perlukan itu, kita perlukan satu mekanisme to highlight or to promote apa agaknya bahan maklumat yang ada di dalam information agency tersebut, especially the library lah. And at the same time, bibliographic control did provide they provide user access to that particular information by using strategi lah. What are the strategi kat sini? Strateginya seperti menggunakan tadi in the abstract, and then catalog cards, and then classification number. So jadi bila you nak define, kita lihat kepada tiga komponen tersebut. Sama juga seperti komponen yang ini tadi. Ada tiga komponen. Okay, now let's look at the IFLA definitions. IFLA, International Federations of Library Associations, definitions about bibliographic control. This definition introduced or proposed by Roberts and Byrne. So apa maksud dia di sini? It is a system, it's a system for recording and describing library materials in catalogs or database by facilitating access to those materials in library or documentation center, and it's contribute to cultural and economic development by helping to make information available. All right. So basically, if you notice from this definition, Roberts and Bone also highlight the three activities, the three components of bibliographic control. Number one, it's a system for recording and describing. Dia sistem untuk merekod dan menjelaskan ataupun menghuraikan di dalam bentuk katalog, di dalam bentuk katalog ataupun online, online katalog or database. And at the same time, they provide they facilitate access by providing instruments ataupun tools lah untuk kita mendapatkan satu bahan maklumat from the library especially. Okay, and this definition taken from Lois Mai-Chan books, Cataloging and Classification and Introduction. Okay, Lois Mai-Chan actually is one of the gurus ataupun dia kita kata expert in cataloging and classification, especially in library area, library field. Okay, dia di sini dia merujuk kepada operations or process by which recorded information is organized or arranged and thereby made readily retrievable. And again, if you notice, this definition juga dia includes the three component as well. The three component apa dia? Is a process or operation atau juga activity. Yang mana recorded information tadi dia organize ataupun arrange untuk tujuan retrieve ataupun searching process of the user. Jadi ingat bila ada pertanyaan ataupun soalan berkenaan dengan what is bibliographic control, please includes the three component just now. The three component. Apa komponen ni? It's a series of activity. Apa activity tu? Yang tiga tadi, yang dalam bentuk pie tadi. Tiga. Kemudian apa lagi? Dia menyusun. Apa kaedah penyusunannya? Pun ada dijelaskan tadi. Dan yang ketiga adalah untuk apa dia dibuat? Untuk membantu pengguna dalam mengakses or retrieve the information. So please relate those three component with the three activities to define bibliographic control. In case you tak boleh nak quote definition by this author, you tak boleh nak ingat, jadi gunakan definition yang saya dah synthesize tadi. Okay, the term covers a range of bibliographic activities including complete records of bibliographic item as published, standardization of bibliographic descriptions, and provisions of physical access to consortia, network or other cooperative endeavor. So yang ini dia terangkumlah dalam penjelasan tadi. Alright, and basically bibliographic control dia consists of course, we normally being asked why we need to have this bibliographic control in information agencies. What's the reason behind to employ or apply bibliographic control processes in information agency? Well, basically, this is the purpose or justification why do we need to have bibliographic control. Okay, number one, facilitating access to documents or material. Okay, for this, since yang ini tidak ada penjelasan pada slide seterusnya, saya akan uraikan and please take notes so that if there's a questions maybe later in your exam or your test, for example, asking about what's the justification or why the importance of bibliographic control, you can use this as your answer lah. Okay, so number one, facilitate access to documents or material. Kenapa? Okay, bermaksud di sini we do in bibliographic control, they provide they act as instrument. They act as instrument to access the documents or material. So di sini bermaksud bibliographic control ini menyediakan sebagai satu mekanisme untuk highlight the availability, availability of the information for the user. Ya. Kita tahu contohnya di perpustakaan Tun Abdul Razak kita ada lebih kurang 1.4 juta koleksi di pita Shah Alam tu, 1.4 juta ataupun 70,000 koleksi di pita Puncak Perdana. Ya, kita tahu jumlahnya begitu, tetapi apa agaknya bahan-bahan yang ada, tajuk-tajuknya, judul-judulnya itu kita tak tahu. Ya. Jadi by providing bibliographic control, for example, that includes, for example, catalog information, ya, ataupun kita kata on bibliographic database, kita akan tahu apa maklumat yang ada di situ. And then number 2, guidance in searching information. Okay, in bibliographic control, normally they consist of at least the 8 area of information. These 8 areas I will explain in our next classes. But then, apa yang saya boleh katakan di sini untuk surface saja, as the introduction, kita ada contohnya the title of the books, the statement of responsibility, which mean the author, and then publisher, year of publications, maybe there will be ISBN number, subject, apa lagi, notes area. So 8 perkara ini, the 8 area of ISBD, International Standard Book Description, can be used as a guidance in information search. Contohnya, bila kita mencari, kita boleh search menggunakan nama pengarang. Kita juga boleh melihat kepada subjek, ataupun keyword subjek. Juga boleh menggunakan title, for example. So, these 8 components of ISBD actually act as a guidance. Maknanya pencarian itu kita telah meletakkan scope, scopes of your searching process or searching activity, the between that boundaries. You tidak search perkara-perkara yang lain, but then they must be related to those 8 areas. So itu mudah. And then number 3, vital element for effective reference and information services, especially in your bibliographics process, ataupun referencing. So referencing tu macam dibuat dalam assignment tu, di belakang tu ada bibliografi dan juga reference, kita panggil. Itu adalah bibliografi yang sama yang digunakan di dalam 8 area that we discussed just now. And then number 4, recording and expanding knowledge. Recording and expanding knowledge by creating or developing bibliographic control, you will know about types of information sources that's available in certain information agency. And for example, in internet or web, if you search something on the web, from Google, for example, Google search engine, di situ adalah kita melihat satu proses, bagaimana kita mencari maklumat di dalam satu database, record yang sangat luas, yang very vast, ataupun the volumes of the records tu dia memang sangat banyak, millions or maybe billions of records that represent information sources on the internet. And in these activities, in searching process, you will know what are the information available on the net. And in academics activities, or especially in research activities, the searching and knowing what's available on the web is to identify the knowledge gap. Knowledge gap ni bermaksud apa agaknya bahan yang tak ada, maklumat yang tiada. Maka di situ kita boleh menggunakannya to expand our knowledge. For example, in research activities, from identifying this knowledge gap, you boleh merencana ataupun you can plan what are the topics or issues or problem that you should address as your research topic or research ideas. So this is the process of expanding knowledge. Expanding knowledge. And then next, stimulating R&D, stimulating research and development activity. Jadi melalui kaedah ini, kaedah yang saya bincangkan dalam alasan keempat tadi, secara tidak langsung dia akan stimulate, dia motivate researcher to explore the topics or area that not being explored by other researcher. So in this, kita juga boleh kaitkan dengan stimulating research and development activity in the context of, or in the forms of to fill the gaps, to fill the knowledge gap by using research activities just now. Okay, and at the same time, bibliographic control also provides assistance in duplication. They avoid duplications in R&D, which mean apa yang orang lain dah buat ataupun dah kaji, kita tidak akan menghasilkan dalam bentuk yang sama. Begitu juga dengan publication contohnya. Kalau you notice terlalu banyak buku berkaitan bidang fundamental, contoh judulnya adalah fundamental ataupun basics of management, or fundamental of management. Dia ada banyak, tetapi kontennya berbeza. Sebab apa? Penulis ini akan melihat contents of the books that being created or published to, of course, differently in terms of the contents of that books. And this process also being used or applied in research and development process. We cannot conduct a research topic ataupun solve problems in using the same research, but normally we can replicate by modifications or modifying the research methodology, or the let's say environments of or the nature of the research. Jadi ini adalah proses to avoid duplication, which means to conduct same study within the same area or same to solve the same problem. Okay, and finally, to encourage cooperation, exchange and sharings of information between institutions and nations. By using bibliographic control, actually kita standardize. We standardize the records, the information records of the document so that it can be exchanged and share between two parties. Yang ini saya akan jelaskan pada kelas-kelas yang akan datang, sebab ini dia lebih terperinci, terutama bila kita nak kaitkan dengan pertukaran data, merging, data migrations, data integration between system dan sebagainya. Saya akan jelaskan kemudian. Alright, so basically itu saja untuk slide yang ini. Ada soalan? Is there any questions? Boleh faham tak? Questions? Marnis?
No, sir.
Ya. Fatihah, ada soalan?
Tiada, sir.
Tak ada. Okey, boleh faham? Faham ke? Ya, Shalin. Shalina.
Sir, boleh explain balik apa ni? Vital element for effective reference.
Vital element for effective reference. Okey. Dia begini dia sebelum ni dah buat assignment kan? Saya percaya semua dah pernah buat assignment, dan dalam you punya assignment you menggunakan reference kan di belakang tu. Ada bibliografi.
Ya, sir.
So kalau satu file kita panggil bibliografi lah, bibliografi file, satu bahan. Tetapi yang you hasilkan dalam assignment tu mungkin dia ada banyak bahan, bermaksud banyak bibliografi. So yang itu ada kita panggil adalah reference, reference list of your publication lah, but in your case reference list of your assignments. Okay, dalam reference list tu, dalam you punya bibliografi itu, apa banyak maklumat yang you senaraikan? Shalina.
Bahan rujukan.
Ya, bahan rujukan. Apa banyak kandungan maklumatnya?
dia punya nama apa tuh penulis,
Nama penulis lagi,
dia punya tarikh,
tarikh penerbitan,
yes, and then
the
the
title.
title, terus itu dia punya link.
Okay. Alright. So maklumat-maklumat itu sebenarnya contohnya ya, bila orang lain menggunakan ataupun merujuk you punya assignment, dia akan melihat ya, sebabnya dalam tu ada citation, ada rujukan. Jadi dia melihat sumber mana yang you rujuk. Jadi di situ dia boleh dengan mudah pengguna itu atau pembaca itu dia tahu sumber-sumber bahan yang digunakan bagi tujuan penghasilan tugasan tersebut. Ini kita panggil citation, ya, a process of citation, which mean citing other people works in your works, ya, citing publications or other publication in your publication. Ya. Jadi proses maknanya apa yang you kemukakan dalam you punya idea itu telah disokong dengan satu idea. Ya, ideanya adalah daripada penyelidik ataupun penulis lain. Dan pembaca nanti dengan mudahnya dia boleh membaca apa you punya idea dan juga idea-idea yang ditulis oleh penyelidik-penyelidik lain ya, di dalam you punya tugasan tersebut. Ya. So itu bermaksud begitu effective reference and information services. Jadi melalui reference list that you provided in your reports or in your assignment, the user will know where is your sources or evidence and where they can, for example, find it for their further reading contohnya. Jadi dia tahu sumbernya di mana dan dengan mudah dia boleh mencari bahan tersebut. Okey? Sherina, boleh faham?
Yes, sir, faham.
Okey, ada lagi yang lain? Okey. Next, hold on. Okay, so topik ini the developments of the organizations of recorded information in Western civilization. Okay, topik ini dia ada, let me stop the recording process here.